All right. Thank you guys for joining us for another Modern Agent Blueprint. We are actually in person together. This never happens. Have we ever done one in person?
I think
once
or twice. Yeah.
Well, we are here. We're actually at the hotel. We are hosting Level Up. So we are in the ballroom where we're going to have this event, and pre-sale tickets are out right now. Early bird pricing is available. The event is April 30th. We're going to be in Ann Arbor, and we highly, highly recommend that everybody come to this event because it's going to be really fun. We sold out the last 2 times we've done this event with over 250 people at each event. And we have limited tickets this time to only 200 people. So without a doubt, we are going to be for sure selling out.
Well, people have been asking because we took a break last year. So I do think it's going to be a highly attended event.
I think so too. So last week on Modern Agent Blueprint, I kind of talked a little bit about Instagram and how we can utilize Instagram for business and how I get referrals a lot from Instagram. I know Nikki does too. And we're going to talk about how to utilize your profile because I think it's one of the things that I see most often underutilized and people not having their Instagram bios and profiles set up for people to be able to search you. So I wanted to make sure that we really touched on this today to talk about how you can utilize Instagram for business and for referrals. And it's not just for referrals on, not just for referrals on from clients, but from other realtors who are all over. So I get referrals a lot from people who are relocating from different states because they find me on Instagram. It is a search platform at this point. So I can tell you that when I'm looking for agents out of town, the first place I look is Instagram. I go into the people who I'm following. I go into the search bar and I'm typing in Arizona Realtor or Chicago Realtor, and I'm looking for people that way. Instagram is becoming one of the highest searched platforms now for people who are just looking for realtors in the area or looking for businesses. I've talked about previously, when I'm looking for a business, I'm looking on Instagram first. When I looked for a chiropractor, I was looking for somebody who had an Instagram presence that I could hear the cracks and I could like see what they're doing and see all the stuff that's happening. And I think for all businesses, Instagram is one of the biggest things that you should be using to really generate business from. So we're going to talk about how to optimize and audit your profile. So I'm going to audit a couple people's profiles on here. I'm not doing like one person throughout the whole thing. There's just a couple people that I have some examples for that you can also just pull up your phone and look at your Instagram and see what you can change on yours to optimize. So Nikki, you have anything?
No,
that was a lot of words.
Not yet.
All right. So we're going to do our Instagram overhaul. We're going to look at your profile and make sure it's set up for growth and lead generation. So look, Lindsay, there you are. I told you I was going to use you. So first things first is your profile. Now, Nikki breaks this rule here. So Nikki has her logo as her photo on Instagram. However, I don't think it has prevented you from getting business from Instagram, would you say?
No.
So use it to your whatever you prefer. What I'm going to tell you is what everybody says, and that is to use a picture of your face because people want to engage with you and they want to, you want to encourage people to get to know you. So having your face as your profile photo is going to be the best thing that you can do to get seen by everybody. You want to use a clear, high quality headshot from a brand shoot, ideally. Not everybody can afford a brand shoot, so using a photo that you've taken on your cell phone. Cell phones now are just, the quality of the photo is so good that you can really get away with it. You can also use those images to do like an AI image of you and have it kind of glow up the background or whatever it may be to make sure that you have a really nice photo. But the main thing is you want it to be a clear photo of your face and you want to make sure that it's representing you and your brand. So, looking at these photos like Tracy, she's got this nice green photo or a nice green shirt on. It's going to pop in her photos. And I'm going to show you some examples later. Mark, however, is in a suit and he is not always in a suit in his real day-to-day life, but I like that he's got a professional photo in there. And then his stories and his feed show a little bit of a different side of him as well. All right. So the first thing that I see a lot of people not doing correctly is using their username and display name. So username is, you know, Nikki Wolf Realtor, Nicole Elizabeth Real Estate, Move in Raleigh, Julie Moratis Realtor. Those are all your usernames. So those usernames, you don't necessarily have to have real estate in it. You don't necessarily have to have your city in it, but whatever your name is, like I have thought about changing my name a million different times, but every time I go in to do it, the name that I want is taken or whatever. So I just leave it as is. And at this point, I feel like it's a recognizable name for the people who know who I am. So changing, that is one thing I see people doing a lot too, is changing their username all the time. That really hurts you. For instance, we had a lady who I wanted to speak at Level Up. I can't find her now.
I hate that.
Because I don't know what her name is now. She changed her Instagram, and because she changed it, I no longer know what her Instagram profile is anymore. So, you know, she potentially lost out on an opportunity by changing things. So I would say if you're going to pick a username, stick with it. That way people can always find you and they know what it is. So you want to include these things in your profile. You want to make sure that your bio and your username and display name all represent who you are. So if you serve multiple areas, you really want to kind of have your main area that you serve in there. So like Raleigh, North Carolina, that's probably a pretty big area, and likely she serves outside of that area. This is a question I see all the time is, what do you do if you're in like Metro Detroit? I don't sell in Detroit whatsoever, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to sell out, you know, outside of Detroit, or I'm not going to sell in the suburbs of Detroit. So it's really kind of hard to make sure that you want to find like your biggest area, the most wide cast that you can. So mine is Ann Arbor. Like I live in Ann Arbor. I sell majority in Ann Arbor. Julie is Northville. Julie will go an hour outside of her area, so will I. So it's just picking the spot that you want to niche down into, or maybe it is a Metro Detroit or Metro wherever, or a bigger city, but you want to make sure you have your area in there because this is searchable. So when people are looking for Northville Realtor and they type that into Instagram, you're going to see that she's going to pop up. So you want to have your name, and you want to have your city and then realtor afterwards, or real estate or something like that. So when people are searching those keywords, your profile will pop up. So that is the main thing here. You want to make sure your name is there, the city you serve, real estate or realtor. If this is where I see so many people drop the ball, and that we're going to show some examples of that down the road. But I see this all the time where people don't have any of that in there. They just have their name. Well, that's great. If I know that Sarah Sells is she's a fake profile I made in one of the next slides. If I know that girl, like maybe I met her somewhere and I remember, oh, she's in this area, that's great. But otherwise, if I can't remember her name, you know, people forget. Like, what is the one thing that people complain about all the time when they go to like networking events? Like, I'm not going to remember her name. I'm not going to remember their name. So make sure that you have something in there that makes people be able to be searchable, like to be able to search you. Okay. Your Instagram bio. So this is going to include things that, you know, niches. Who are you helping? What are you doing? What is your specialty? Do you have a niche that you do? Do you help people downsize? Do you help people single moms move? Do you help divorcees? Do you help first-time home buyers? Like, what is your niche? That is what you should be putting in your profile so people know that this is one of your specialties. What do you post about? You want something in your bio should show, if I follow this person, what am I going to see? What are the things that I'm going to be able to find on this page? You want to infuse some of your personality, and you want to have a clear call to action. So let me minimize this a little bit so I can see my own screen here. So the two samples that I have over here are helping first-time home buyers navigate the market, sharing the best places to go in Denver, and grab your relocation guide below. And we'll talk about what that means in a minute about grabbing it below. Relocation specialist, sharing all of Fido's favorite places to go in Ann Arbor. Grab your moving guide at the link below. Using these things, so my personal one says, and you're limited on characters too, so you do have to be a little bit picky about what you say. So mine says mama and margarita lover, Ann Arbor and beyond, and then I have that little line, don't know what that's called, but relocation simplified. I'm a 4-time icon agent with over 200 homes sold, Nest Real Estate Group with eXp Realty. So that is all in there. Now I could absolutely remove some of that. I could take out the 200 plus homes sold. I could take out the brokerage I'm with. I could take out some of the stuff, but for now I'm leaving it as is because I'm getting good response. So I'm going to keep it as is for now. And later down the road, if I decide I want to change something up, I can always change my profile bio up. And I suggest that you do. We're going to talk about some things not to do. So we want to make sure that, and this is going into show Tracy. So we can look here. What is her specialty? Well, looks like she is a luxury agent. She's a top producer in the Raleigh area, and that she is a new construction maven. And then she's relocating you in and out of North Carolina. I think this is important because I think a lot of people think of relocation as just moving to an area, but it's moving in and out. She is saying that or what are you going to find here? She doesn't really talk about what you're going to find in her profile, but you're going to see that she has her little infusion of personality. She loves sharks from what it looks like here, and that she's a certified mentor. And then she's got her call to action with her link tree below. So I think overall, she's got a pretty good profile. I would probably remove top producer and maybe put a little bit more of what her personality is. What am I going to find? Like what is going to make me connect with her to where I want to find that common connection so I can find her later. Maybe I know for sure that I'm going to want to use her later because we connect on a certain level. Do you have anything in your profile that says anything about you?
So mine says that I service all of Northwest Ohio, even though I am in Toledo, because we have like the actual city of Toledo is kind of crappy.
You didn't say that out loud.
Right. So, it's Northwest Ohio encompasses a lot more suburbs. But I don't go into specifics. I think before I used to say like buy, sell, or invest. But I took that out because now mine doesn't say that. Somebody asked if we record these.
I know. I'm gonna
why
look at your profile right now. You're responding.
Yep.
So you have modern agent servicing Northwest Ohio. Looking outside of the Toledo area, my brokerage is international. Give me a call. Realtor, designer, and stager. So that's what Nikki says. Now let's go to the next slide here. So this is my womp person. This is my pretend Sarah Sells. So one thing I see a lot of people doing is they're putting their phone number or their email or a link to their website in their bio. Nobody can click on that. And I'll tell you what, in this world of instant gratification and instant, like we want it now, the last thing I'm going to do is screenshot that, go to my photos, tag the photos, copy the phone number, go to my app or go to the phone app, paste it in. Like nobody's going to do that. So I would just scroll right on by that person because I cannot easily connect with them. She's got hashtags in her bio. Now, hashtags in your posts are one thing
because they're searchable.
It's searchable. It's not searchable in your profile. So Brooklyn Realtor, first time home buyer, take the hashtags out. You do not need hashtags in your bio. You're wasting usable space that you could be talking about who you are as a person or as a realtor. So, you don't want to have every award you ever won. So I have in here top producer, lots of homes sold last year. My dog's favorite realtor, SRS, MVP, ESPN. Like we don't need all of the letters. I think if you are let's say that you are a senior specialist, maybe that's something that's your niche, right? You want to put that in there. Maybe you are, only working with first-time home buyers because that's the niche you want. Or maybe you really only work with divorce clients and you work really closely with divorce attorneys and that's really your niche. Then make sure you're putting that stuff in there. And obviously with that, your content should be created and curated for those specific people. I kind of hate having the top producer in your profile because that is such a overused fluff word. Sorry, Brooke. I know she hates the word fluff, but it is such a fluff word and it's overused. I think if you can say something different than top producer, maybe saying something like, helped over 500 families, in my career or something like that. I feel like that shows more social proof than just saying top producer, because it is such a top producer in one area of the country is completely different than a top producer in another.
Sure.
So saying it is just kind of a fluff word. All right. So look at your profile. If it says any of these things, or if you have any of these things, you want to
Okay.
make sure you change it. And we're going to talk about how to have your phone number and email address in there, so then it's easy to use. All right. So are you utilizing your highlights to help guide prospective clients? A lot of people aren't. And in fact, I'm not. This is something that has been on my to-do list for ages, but your highlights are stories. So your stories expire after 24 hours unless you add them to a highlight. Then they live on your page forever. So you can make your highlights be something cute, like mine says hello. You could do something like, we have a team page. It says like, the one first bubble says let's, and the rest spell out move. If it's your name, you could do something like that. Like, you could be very creative. Keep in mind, you only have 5 letters or 5 bubbles that show up. You can have way more. You could scroll and scroll and scroll. The highlights are, I don't even know if there's a limit on them.
I don't think so.
But you could use those to help guide people. So one that I just added the other day are areas I serve. So I'm going to start trickling in things into my stories that I can add to my, so I can add to my highlights, so I can really start revamping those. You also want to look, if you do have highlights, go in and look. If you have highlights from 4 years ago, you should probably take them out. Unless they're still relevant, I would take them out and update it with something new.
How do you take them out?
So you can go in, you can delete an individual story, or you
Okay.
can delete the entire album. Which
Got
is
it.
what I did. So
Okay.
like, I had one for the office that I was a part of, and I'm not there anymore. Why do I have that on my profile? It's outdated information. So I deleted that whole thing out of there, and I put in the new one. And you can change your the cover photo on it just like you would a profile photo, so you can make it look aesthetically pleasing. It can match your brand. So Lisa here, she has life, sellers, homes for sale, buyers, and local love, which I love. So it's showing some of her life, things that she's doing. It gives sellers a spot to go, any homes that are for sale, her buyers, and then she's showing love to the local businesses. I love that, or local even happenings in the neighborhood. I love that. So over here, you can see that I have buyer, seller, sold, client love, your new home. You can have something very similar to this. So you can change out the words on the bottom too. So it doesn't have to match what your pinned circle says. So you could have buyers, start here, sellers, let's list, solds, areas I serve. Client love, you could put all your testimonials. If you're putting testimonials in your stories, you could put your testimonials right into your highlights, so then people can go back and read how all your clients love you and why you're the best pick. Listings, you could put your new home in there. Do a story that links to your website that shows where people can search for homes. You know, as you post these stories, be intentional, and then you can start building out your highlights. Other ideas behind the scenes, people love behind the scenes. So behind the scenes as a realtor for the day. Local love, local businesses. What is it like to live in the area that you're in? So a lot of people are relocating. How do they know what your city looks like compared to somewhere else? So this is the best way to show that. Show different spots around town, restaurants. This is a great place to put restaurants, businesses, parks, even just like videos of you driving around, like showing what's going on in that area. Mom life, dad life, something that will resonate with your clients. So maybe they are, you know, a single dad or a single mom, or maybe they're a mom of 5 and so are you, like putting stuff like that out there is going to help, I don't know, resonate with you or resonate with other people who are in the same boat as you. People want to work with people like them, right? Hobbies you're into. So if you're really big into swimming or surfing or knitting or whatever it is, you should be putting something like that in your profile. So then again, people resonate with people. Now, looking at her profile, I'm just quickly going to do a little tweak. So I like that she's got the fact that she's a cancer survivor. That's life. She's showing that she's resilient. She's showing that, this is something that other people can relate to. She's a wife and a mom. She's got that English accent. She's a realtor in West Palm Beach, and she shows the other areas. I like that she's got Palm Beach Realtor up here. That means she's searchable. and she's helping homeowners right size to their next home. So right size, obviously that could be move up, move down, whatever, they're right sizing to their house, and she's got a link. So I don't have a lot of critiques for this. My only thing is I might have her do like bullet points instead of a kind of a whole paragraph. That would probably be my only suggestion on this one. And one thing we will talk about one of the next slides is she also does not have the contact button down here. So when you have the contact button, you have to make sure that you are on a creator account, which we'll talk about. And you can add your email and your phone number right to your profile page so people can click on it. And as soon as you click on it, it goes right to your phone so you can dial that phone number. So that's one thing that I would change. Hers also says entrepreneur up here. That means she's got a business account. She should change it to a creator account. She's going to have, we'll talk about that in a minute. It's going to be right here. So, oh, I just went through all of this. So looks good. So her name, the areas she serves, her info on her highlights are being utilized, and she has a link. So all of this is great. Nothing to really complain about there. One thing that I would say, she's got no call to action. So maybe something to say, hey, this is what's in this link. If you click this link, this is what you're going to find. So maybe that's a home guide, a buyer guide, a seller guide, a relocation guide, something to say, what am I going to click this link for? There's no way to contact her like we talked about. In her link, there's probably a way to contact her. But again, you're making people take one extra step that nobody's going to do. So ideally, you want it right on your front page here. This is kind of a lot of text. So maybe figuring out a way to slim that down just a little bit. Bullet points might help to make it a little bit easier to read. And then I would say, if she's got a creator account, she can change entrepreneur to say real estate agent, or whatever industry you're in, you can change it. So a business account still gives you analytics, but a creator account is going to give you better music. It's going to give you more options on that. And it's going to make sure that you have that contact button on there. So here we talk about the contact button. So it gives your audience. So here's mine. So you can see my highlights say hello. My highlights are not being utilized in the way that they should be. So that's my own thing that I'm going to be working on. But your contact button here, this gives your audience an easy way to get a hold of you. So when you click contact, it opens up. I have my email and I have my phone number right there. Easy peasy. Somebody can call me immediately without having to jump through a bunch of hoops. You get better music when you have a creator account. You still have your insights and you have your dashboard. So insights, we're not going to really dive into insights too much, but I want you to really, so like here, it shows my professional dashboard. When I click on that professional dashboard, so it tells me right now I've had 36.7 million, thousand views in the last 30 days. So when you go into your insights, you can change them to the last week, the last month, the last whatever. This is where you figure out what is performing well, what is not, who is your audience. So I looked at mine the other day and I think a majority of my viewers are, they're women. And then there's like, it's got a pie chart, right? So like I got a quarter of it is men, the rest are all women. So am I going to curate content more geared towards men, or am I going to curate it more towards women, right? Who was looking at my profile? Those are the people who I need to talk to, because that's who wants, those are the people who are going to connect with me. Now, looking at the dashboard, you can see what content is doing best. You can see what kind of stuff works. And here's something that I think people are really afraid of, and I think we need to kind of get away from it. When you see content working well, redo that exact same content. Use the same words, use the same video, change it up just a little bit so it's just a little bit different, but keep putting out that same kind of content. If you look at some content creators, if you go to their page, like maybe you see one video pop up on your explore page, or when you're scrolling, if you go and look, a lot of them will have the exact same video with different text. There's a guy who follows me. He's like a hockey player or something, and he used the exact same video. Got every video he showed had hundreds of thousands of views, and it's literally him drinking a beer bottle and like cheersing to the camera, but he just put different text on every single one, and each video, it performed so well that he just kept using it over and over and over again. Wow. Now, to somebody who's maybe his friend or something, maybe that's a little annoying, but honestly, who freaking cares? Like if your job is to you're trying to monetize, or maybe you're trying to do that to get your name out there or whatever it may be, who cares if you're annoying some people? Let them, right?
Yeah.
Let them.
Such a good book.
All right. So let's talk about checking your Instagram feed. So your ideal client finds your page. They're going to be like, I want you to look at your page as if you are your ideal client. So looking at it, can this person help me? What kind of value do they bring to me or to my client if I'm going to refer you business? Do I find their contact useful or valuable enough to follow them? Like, is there stuff that's on your page that I'm like, you know what? I really need to follow this person. I really think that this would be great content. Now, I think we're all, we're all our own critics, right? Or maybe we like what we post, but and we want to post for ourselves as well, because it is our social media, but we have to think that, we are also entrepreneurs and we are business owners, and we need to make sure that we're also curating our content to bring in those people, those hand raisers that say, hey, I want to work with you because I like what you're posting. So one thing that I think a lot of people don't take as much advantage of, and I know I'm the same way, Nikki, you're using yours mostly for business as well,
Yeah.
is really putting in some of your own personal stuff. So Amanda,
better at that.
Yeah, Amanda Albrecht is good. Yeah, you got a couple in there from like your bachelorette party and stuff like that. But so Amanda Albrecht always talks about, she's selling the suburbs. We talk about her often because I think she's kind of like the gold standard of some of the stuff. But she talks about when her Instagram shifted, and she's got like 250,000 followers. And her Instagram really shifted when she started posting stuff about what she's doing, like for her listings or for other agents, and showing like drink recipes, cocktail recipes, food, stuff that she's doing for her kids, like different things like that. Now, I don't know how she has the time to do all this, but she says that she takes like 2 days a month and she just films a whole bunch of stuff, which makes sense. But at the same time, not everybody has that time blocked. But if you do, that's a great way to create a bunch of content, do a bunch of different things. Maybe you're restocking your buyer bags or your seller, whatever. Post a video about it, post what you're doing to show. So you're basically saying, hi, I'm a realtor, without saying, hi, I'm a realtor. So think about the ways that we can utilize your Instagram for ways like that. Okay, so I am going to show you some people who I think are doing a really good job and some people who need a little work. We're going to do a little bit of a audit. Sorry, the word completely lost my brain. So this is Yaz. Yaz is a realtor out of our area. She's out of Detroit. I think she does a fantastic job with consistent branding. So first things first, her story here on the right, when I see that client love pop up in a story, because it is a video, when it pops up, I know exactly who it is. I know that that is her brand. Nikki has a good brand too. Every time I see those colors or I see, the font pop up, I know exactly who it is. But looking at her feed, and this is, her photos, this is her feed and her reels. She's got more reels than she does photos, which is perfectly fine. Do we have clear titles? Yes. Grab a pack of closing box with me. Is Red Coat Tavern the best burger in Royal Oak? Here's what a $500,000 listing looks like. Whatever, I can't read it, it's too small. But does she have clear titles on every single thing? So I know if I click on a story, what I'm going to get? Yes. Now, I will say, I also see the complete opposite where, and it honestly drives me nuts when there's a cover photo on it that has nothing to do with the video. I could see it as misleading, but I also can see how it's great for views. Because let's say that you look at one video and you want to go back and look at more, and then you can't find that same video. So you're like scrolling and you're looking at all the different ones and trying to see what other content they have. It's a great way to get more views. But I think having the caption on the page or having a cover photo that has the title of what I'm going to be able to see in that video, it really makes me want to look at more of the stuff because I know what I'm going to get into. Do you have anything?
No, I agree with that. 100%.
So clear titles. So she's showing off what she offers. She does a lot of small businesses. She does a lot of restaurant videos, restaurant tours. She does a lot of home tours, different things. She does a lot of stuff that I think is really great. She has brand cohesiveness and a recognizable brand. I know her fonts, I know her logos, I know all of that stuff. So once I see her, I know exactly who it is. In her videos, she is showing her face. And so do I even have it? Let me go one page forward. No. Okay. So in our videos and in our content pillars, we want to make sure that we are showing our face because people want to work with people, not logos. You want to show local content because you are highlighting the community that you love, right? People want to know the places to go. Maybe they don't live in this area, or maybe they're thinking about relocating. Like if I moved to Toledo, I wouldn't know the first thing about Toledo. Like I don't know anything about it. I don't know restaurants. I don't know any of that. This is how you show people what it's like to live where you live. Listing features, showcasing homes that you're selling, buying, or touring. That's a great way to show people what's going on. Now, instead of having a cover photo that says, welcome to 123 Main, you could do what she does. What does 475 or like a house tour or whatever, but you could say, what does $500,000 get you in Detroit, Michigan? And you could show a video of your listing. That's fine. You're still marketing your listing, but you're also, instead of a boring cover of check out my new listing or open house, like what better way to, instead of saying open house at this thing, show the video of the house and say, this is what $200,000 can get you in this area or whatever. I think it's a great way to almost have it like clickbait, but also have it to where people are interested in seeing it. And then they're going to click and then hopefully scroll through more. Unique value. Nobody wants boring graphics, like charts and whatever. Like maybe some people like that, but for the most part, nobody knows what those charts mean. Nobody wants to see those static graphics that are, there's a ton of companies that will give you just boring graphics that say, like spring is here or whatever. Nobody cares. Nobody wants that. And honestly, it shows no personality, doesn't show who you are. Why would I want to work with somebody who only posts graphics? Like at least have your photo in it, at least show something that you're doing. Show your personality, your knowledge, and your own perspective. So maybe you want to do a video, like people are talking about the interest rates. People are talking about taxes. People are talking about whatever, like we were just doing earlier in this call.
Do a video
On that. Maybe you do like what the graph shows, but don't just post the graph. Do a video talking about the graph.
Some people can't read graphs or understand what they mean. So explain it to them.
We're the professionals. So being able to show why this matters to your niche audience, like here's a graph. Look at this bar graph. Okay, well, cool. What does that mean for me? I don't know. I'm just going to scroll right on by.
Yeah.
So having something, a cover title or having text on the screen that says something about why you need to watch this video, I think is brilliant. All right, so we're going to do a quick audit of Angie. This is actually one of the first calls I don't think Angie has been on, and she is being audited. So I got to move this out of the way a little bit here on my screen. So we're going to go over here first. So does she have clear titles? Yes, I can see what her videos are about in pretty much every video, which is great. So I can see all of that. I do not see consistent branding. So while her videos look consistent because she's got the same text with the same like white bubble behind it, that is consistent, but there's no necessarily like brand colors. There's no similar fonts. It's all kind of, it does look authentic. It looks like she created it right inside the app, which is what Instagram does want. But like you can see here, like this is the branding she's going for, but I don't see that in the rest of the feed. So I would say one critique I would say is for her to add in a little bit more, or maybe add cover photos that match her branding. So then we have a little bit of cohesiveness. She shows her face. Her face is in every single video. I love that. I think that is really important. A lot of it is B-roll. So I think that is really important to have. Local content. I don't really see a lot of local content. Now she has what it's like to live in her area here. This one says, something about like living in Kentucky. However, I still don't know what it looks like to be in Paducah, Kentucky. I don't know what that looks like. Is it a city? Is it country? Like to me, Kentucky is green grass and horses and cowboy hats. So maybe this is a big city. Maybe I have no idea. Why do I want to look there if I'm going to be moving? If I have no idea what it looks like, this is a great way to showcase what it looks like to live in your area. It also is a great way to show different places to eat, drink, and play. So, where's the best place to get a happy hour cocktail, or where can I get the best burger in town? Like, that's a great thing to post on here so we can keep that local content going. Plus, it's a great way to network with other businesses as well. So listing features, she does have a lot of B-roll that shows her day-to-day life and different things, which I think is great, but there's really nothing that shows any houses. She does have one little thing here, but it's not actually a listing video. So I think being able to show some of the B-rolls, what it's like to look at, like, what do the houses look like there? I have no idea. So I would like to see more of that. And then unique value. So she's got a few different niches in her videos. None of the videos of her talking are giving any advice though. So there are a lot of like just music or the sound bites over top of, and her, doing her B-roll in the background. I would love to see more showing her actually talking and talking about what it's like to live there, or what it's like, realtor stuff. I think these are usually the easiest videos, and I think we all get in this habit. I know I do, but we need to make sure that we're also doing videos of us talking. Her niches too, we have one about, I think there was one about first-time home buyers. There was one about like downsizing or right sizing. So I think we just need to be a little bit more intentional about what the videos are looking like. Okay, now coming over here, she is using her highlights, which I love. She could be doing a little bit better of a job to help grow her business. So she does have sold reviews, my listings, fun places. I like that. I think we could maybe change some of this, like buyer start here, seller start here, something like that, to give people a place to go. Her profile doesn't really have a lot of personality in it. So what would I have in common with her? How do I know that her and I would get along? Put something like that in here. Now her link here, partner with me at 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, that could be in her stand store instead of on her profile. Her profile is what we want people to know that she isn't. Now, if she wants to say Powerhouse, is her group at eXp Realty, that's fine. She could do that, but I would just maybe put the partner with me in the link. And she has her full name, she has the area she's at, and she has eXp Realty, which is her brokerage. So I think overall her bio looks pretty good. I would just add a little bit more in here about kind of showing who she is as a person and why I should follow. All right. So this is another one. So I actually talked with him yesterday. So this is Mark. Mark was actually on our Modern Agent Blueprint once before, and he's been doing really well, like 10.8 thousand followers. His videos, like, you guys, some of his videos got like 5.5 million views, 3 million views. Like, he's got a lot. Now this is kind of some of the older videos, but his newer ones all are like over 100,000 views. Like, he's got amazing views. However, he told me, it sucks. I'm getting all these views and I have all these followers, but I'm not really getting a ton of leads. And I was like, well, let me look at things. He did not have where he lived in his profile. He did have it down here, but that's not really searchable. And it's so little that I told him he needs to put Detroit Realtor up at the top. That is going to help him be searchable. So when people are looking up Detroit Realtors, it needs to be up at the top. I also think his little call to action here, which he does have a call to action, which is great. We haven't seen that yet. Call to action, selling the next 90 days, click this link. So his link though is only going to a home valuation. It's not going to any other thing that he could potentially be getting business from. There's no contact. There's no way to, anything like go to my YouTube channel, go to whatever. So his call to action might be too niched. He might want to kind of cast a wider net that would help him get more leads. He's also not utilizing his highlights to guide any prospective clients to his profile. So it's really just saying, here's my team and here's about, but about what, right? So like, what could we change this to make it a little bit more optimized? Now, what he's doing right, he's got clear titles on every single video. And like I said, some of his videos have hundreds of thousands of views. He's doing a great job. He's got a lot of B-roll, which is awesome. But none of these videos, even though they are B-roll, none of them are full-length videos that I would like to see a little bit more of. He does have what I would consider consistent branding. Now, again, this was a little bit earlier in his feed. His current feed is a lot more of these like grayed out backgrounds with the information on it. I think that's still okay. It's still giving brand cohesiveness, and it's showing with clickbait type links or clickbait type captions and titles. It's going to make people want to watch those videos.
Yeah, it's very direct.
Yeah,
I like it.
And some of them are really good. Like he's got some like, what happens to my house when I die? Like, I think that's a great like video title in there. Other things he's doing great. His face is in all the videos. However, it's B-roll, and there's only one video that he's actually speaking to the camera. However, he did not know this, but when I typed this out, he did post a new video that he is talking to the camera. So he gets credit for that one. I would like to see him have more local videos. He does have a lot of educational videos, but I would love for him to be talking in some of these videos and talking about the stuff that he's showing. So instead of, how to get 5 homes in 10 years and just having text on the screen, do that video, but then do another one of you talking about it and say the exact same verbiage that you put on the screen a second ago, but this time do it talking to the camera. Listing features. You show some houses, but they're mostly B-roll and they're in the background and they're kind of grayed out. So we're not really seeing any home features or neighborhoods to get more local engagement. So since you are really trying to get more local followers, you want to get local people who are interested in working with you, and you want to drive those leads to you, we need to see more about why they want to live in Detroit or wherever you work versus just the educational videos. And then, oh, perfect. Marissa's getting on. I think she's with Mark right now. Your unique value. So there's great advice. Like I just talked about, there's great advice in here, but what I would like to see is a little bit more of the, like face to camera. That's really what I want to see. I would also change a little bit here in the profile. I love that he's talking about his sobriety. I think that is something that a lot of people can resonate with. So I love that. He's a cat daddy. Love that too. 100 plus 5-star reviews. I think that is good. That could go into your highlights though. We don't necessarily need it up here. Let's maybe put it in the highlights with all of your testimonials. You can make graphics and put them into your stories and then add them to your highlights of all of these 5-star reviews. You can have the CEO, Mark White and Associates. Love that. I would edit out this link though, and I would change the link to have more options and not just your home valuation. Marissa, is Mark there to be able to listen? Why? He needs to be in here listening to this. I'm critiquing him right now.
He's not on this. He's in this other room.
I don't think he's on. No. Well, he's getting critiqued right now and he is not on to watch this.
Oh, I think he's meeting with an agent though.
That's fine. He can watch this later. I was gonna say, I know you're there. He should be on here. All right, back to it. All right, let's move on. Actually, let me go back. Does anybody who is watching, does anybody have any questions about anything that I'm talking about on this, or any ideas on, different things that maybe you're doing that you think you could do better or anything? Does anybody have anything? All right, we're going to keep going then. All right, so this is Russ. So Russ asked me to audit him. So he kind of knew he was getting into this. Now I got to move you around a little bit here so I can see on my screen. So Russ, let's talk about it. He's got no clear titles. He has no consistent branding. He does show his face. He's in all these videos and he is posting very consistently. Almost every single day he has a new post or a new video, which I think is great. He is talking straight to the camera. Love that. But no consistent branding. And I don't see any local content. I didn't see any listings.
No
and he doesn't have any highlights. You're right. And I don't know what he does. Like, and here he's like in a class. Dude. Yeah, he does call himself the real estate dude, but what does that mean exactly? I don't know. Does he coach agent?
Nerd.
I don't
What
know
is
what a
that?
wood nerd means either.
I mean, I could
it
take
just
that
says make
two
stuff.
different ways.
Right. Wood nerd.
Oh, he
make stuff.
builds bass guitars.
Okay. So, I mean,
There's a
he's
lot
he's
here.
got a lot here, too much text that it does show who he is, but I would actually like to see this stuff in a video
And a
more
highlight.
so.
I want to see the bass guitars and a highlight. He loves life. He's a good cook. Wait, good cook, good food.
No, it just says cook good food.
Oh, cook good food. Okay, yeah. I mean,
All right,
let's
Ren.
see some food pics.
He's got one here, and that food did look good, I'll be honest. But I want to see videos that show clear titles. I
Yeah.
want to see some consistent branding. I want to know, like, you're a real estate dude. Does that mean that you buy and sell houses? Are you training agents? Like,
Yeah.
what do you do? What is your niche, right? In his profile here, we have no call to action. I don't know where he works. Don't even know what state he's in. Who does he help? And there's no link, and he has no highlights. So lots to do, lots to work here, but this could easily be turned around. His bio, you could fix your bio in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He could maybe remove a little bit of this, because right now he's got the real estate dude, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, wood nerd, make stuff, forge metal, build bass guitars, love life, cook good food. Like, I feel like this definitely needs to be streamlined, get rid of a lot of these words. He could definitely summarize some of this stuff, I think. Maybe put it into bullet points, or take some of this away and say, like, look at some of the cool stuff I make in my highlights or whatever. You know, maybe do something like that that shows a little bit of who he is, but also it's, easily to know, like, who he is and who he's working with and where. Because right now, I don't know where he's at. And I see this in a lot of profiles that it just says, I actually looked up Texas Realtor just to see what I would find. And a lot of people did have Texas Realtor up here, but didn't say where in Texas. And let me tell you, Texas is a big freaking state.
Oh, yeah.
So if I click on somebody and I'm like, hey, do you work in Dallas? And they're in Houston, that's like hours away. So I need to know more specifically of where you're at. So Russ, you got some work to do. Let's talk about the link in bio. So your link in your bio can go to all different kinds of things. You can have a link tree, a stand store. You can have a milkshake is one that's a little bit more customizable. You have lots of options. You can do a landing page. You could do a lead magnet, a contact. You can have something. So we're just going to talk really quickly about 4 that I took. So I took Nikki's and mine. So first, mine is actually a Canva website.
What?
Yeah, so I created it myself, and it was a kind of a lot of work, but it's scrollable, so you can scroll down, and it's got like this normally like moves up and like makes a little click motion. So sellers start here. So it's got a contact me list. So this is my contact me to a Google form. When they open it up, I have a seller's guide and a relocation guide, and then I have a buyer's one, and then I have a realtors and friends. So it's got like, there's a lot of links. I could probably clean it up a little bit and not have so many links, but this is a free website through my Canva Pro account. So I also have my level up tickets in here.
Yeah.
So like I went in and edited this to add this in. So people can click right here, and that's going to go right to the ticket Eventbrite page or whatever. So they can click it right there. Angie has Stand Store. So Stand Store is one that a lot of people use for if they're selling products, if they have like digital products that they sell or coaching, a lot of them put those in here. I do think it looks really pretty. It's very organized. So like schedule a showing. So you can book, she has her, schedule here to book, how to hire a realtor. She's got a PDF, and it goes on and on. Nikki has check out my website. Want to partner with me, search for homes. What site are you using here?
Flow Code, I believe.
Flow Code? Okay.
Yeah, it was free, and I just was able to, okay, so Flow Page.
Flow Page.
Follow link.
Yeah,
Yep,
so she's got all her stuff on there. Then she's got her Airbnb on there. She's got her, what is that, YouTube channel,
Yep.
Instagram, although they don't need to follow you on Instagram. Because they're already on Instagram.
Right. But I use this link for other things.
Oh, okay.
So like
smart.
I'll do a QR code on mailers or
Oh,
whatever.
smart.
So then, and this has analytics too, so I can see who
I love
went
that.
to it.
I love that. So Nikki's is flow code, and then Mark's goes just to his home valuation. So I think Mark's is a little bit too limited because it doesn't show, it doesn't give any other thing. It's just, get your home valuation here. I would like to see a little bit more. Maybe that is an option, but as of right now, this is what his call to action is. And unless he changes his call to action, I would just leave it. But if he wants to have more options for people, I think that that's the best way to go. Now, you can do different landing pages, different lead magnets. You could have all kinds of different things, email sign up, contact method, websites. You can have all different things. I would at least have a way to contact you and your website, so then people could go and search for homes or whatever it may be. But you want to make sure you have some sort of link of people to be able to get a hold of you. Okay, before we jump into what is working on Instagram, does anybody have any questions or want to chat about like what your bio says or what your feed looks like? Anybody have anything that they want to kind of touch on before we move on? Okay, go ahead, Cynthia, I see you.
Where do you put in your location? Like when you edit your profile on Instagram, because I have like my username, Cynthia Hutchinson _ realtor, but then I want to add Brighton, Michigan.
So go into, so when you're on your page, go to your page here, okay? Then go to edit profile.
Yep.
Under name,
Yep.
that's where you're changing it.
So that's what I thought. And I click on that and it takes me to a Facebook login. Is that something
So it's probably because this is going through Meta. So you probably have to change it through Meta.
Okay.
But mine is the same way. So at the very top, mine says edit profile right here. So I have to edit it and go into Meta to make the changes there, but you can do it there too. So
Okay.
when it opens it up, it shows like this. And then you can click on name. And then it gives you like the name I have, my previous name, and then create a new name. So you can change it right through there.
Okay.
And you can change your profile picture there. You can change all that stuff. Now, if you are verified, if you have the little blue check and you pay the $15 a month to be verified, you have to go through a whole process to change everything. So that is the one downside of being verified. I verified myself because I kept getting fake profiles made of me all the time. So I verified myself and it's happened a lot less. And it's a lot easier to get resolved when people make fake profiles. One quick thing I wanted to touch on, and I meant to put it in this presentation, but I was struggling for a really long time to gain followers. Like I was stuck. I was like at a plateau of like 7,100 for months, and it would go up a couple, then down a couple, then up and then down. And it was just like, oh my God, what is going on? And I realized that if you click on the little three, like little hamburger at the top, I know, hamburger, hot dog, remember? So then you go, let me figure this out. So you go down to also all pages, all of your Instagrams need to be public. When I see a private realtor page, it makes me want to like shake them because nobody's going to be able to see anything that you're posting. So why are we doing that? Okay, so you're going to go to, sorry, I want to make sure that I am telling you the right thing to do here. I probably should have had this ready to go. You want to make it so people can find you by your like being friends or through your contact list. So I'm trying to figure out where I went. I think I went to account privacy. No. I'll figure this out in a minute, but it has helped me gain like 120 some new followers since the beginning of the year. So it's helped me a lot. So I have to figure this out. I'll show you guys in a minute. Good Lord. Hold on. I can tell you in a second, but that has been like a total game changer for me to be able to get, to go up 120, I think 128 followers since I since I changed that. So I think that's a pretty substantial change. I'm trying to find, I actually saw a video on it. I'm trying to find the video where she talks about it so I can show you. Whatever, I'll figure that out. I will let you guys know, but let's talk about.
Oh, I think I might have found it. It's in, I think it's in common privacy settings under manage audience settings. No, maybe not.
I will figure this out. Nikki, will you just talk about this, like what's working, and then I will figure it out. I'll find it.
Yeah, I want to know this one.
Yeah, I will absolutely get it for you. I gotta find it. So go ahead, Nikki, talk about what is having its moment.
Okay, so less polished content is having its moment. So carousels featuring casual camera roll style photos. So it doesn't have to be super edited. They just want to really get to know you. It's resonating well. It makes you feel more relatable. So design elements like text messages, screenshots, they're highly engaging, again, because it's relatable. We all do it. So again, not super edited, curated, just raw per se. Simple in-app reels are often outperforming highly produced content. Again, just keeping it raw per se. And even though high quality polished content can still perform well, just make sure it's creative and attention grabbing. But again, I think it goes back to showing that, there's a lot of people out there that won't post things because it's not perfect per se. Just post it, get it out there. A lot of the things that are posted that maybe you wouldn't normally post because it wasn't perfect, it wasn't edited, it wasn't this, it wasn't that, get more views than the ones that took you hours to edit. So just get it out there, whether it is, showing a property or getting your point across about an educational point or what have you. It's addressing the issue or the point that you're trying to make. So don't be so critical of it.
I agree. Still looking to figure out where this video is, or where the directions were.
Is it limit interactions?
No.
You'll have to post it in our
I
group.
know, I'm gonna have to post it in the group. I will figure it out. It was literally, you went in and it was like, allow people to follow you through your contacts. And
Oh,
it might be,
but when you do post that, tag me in it.
yes, I will. I will figure this out. I meant to put it in this thing, but this took a lot longer than I had anticipated on creating, but I will get that for you guys because it definitely was a huge game changer for me. I'm trying to see if I could just find it quickly, and I don't want to like waste everybody's time doing this.
You'll find it when you're not even trying.
I know. I will for sure put it out there for all you guys. I thought it was on like maybe on account privacy, but that's not what it's showing up either.
Is it under device permissions?
Let's see.
I see contacts there, but I don't know.
Oh,
I have allowed marked on all of them. Go to device permissions. I don't think it was device permissions. Yeah, yours says all that. I will find it. So, all right, like real quick, let's get through this part here. So, oh my gosh, it's already 1 o'clock. Good Lord. Okay. So what is working? Obviously these are just some screenshots. Lindsay, there you are. Mark is down here, but these are just some videos that I scrolled through that I thought were great. So storytelling carousels. So this was one by Hustle Humbly. I'm going to pause it just because it's a little distracting, but it tells a story as you scroll through. So each picture is this like her just talking about the story as she goes through. This is talking about how they had an issue with the roof, but the seller said that the roof was fine. There was no problem with it. They didn't really need to do anything with it, but they were having issues with people wanting to put offers in. So they decided to finally put the new roof on the house, and they were able to close the deal, and they ended up making more money by having that roof redone than they would have otherwise. So telling stories like this, I've seen a couple people doing it as they scroll through. It's actually, I think, a really great way to get some engagement, and it keeps people engaged because they're obviously going through, they want to see the whole story, which I think is a great thing. I didn't see what popped up in the chat there. Did somebody find it? All right, photo dump. So this is Maddie. She's queen of the photo dumps. So I think this is great because it shows who you are as a person, shows who you are in your business, in your life. It can be a little bit of everything. So you can show, you know, a recent vacation and just do a whole bunch of photos, or a day in the life, or like, what does it look like to be in a realtor's car? And it's like, you know, crap from your car or whatever. You know, all of your tripods and your photo, your drink cups, and, you know, McDonald's bags or whatever.
Empty water bottles.
Right, empty water bottles, lock boxes. You know, I think that this shows who you are as a person, so you're able to really showcase a little bit of what you like to do and the things that you're out doing. Oh gosh, sorry. So this is a listing photo, so our listing reel. I think this is great because it shows people, you know, what the houses look like, what's going on in that area. It helps generate leads, spark conversation. It showcases your marketing to your sellers and demonstrates how you're trying to make their house stand out in the market. And it can build a following for local people. So this is just the listing video. We put it as a reel, and that's a great way to be able to showcase your home's properties or your listings. Now, this is another one. This is one that Yaz did, and this was great because she shows a picture of this, and is it going to play? Oh no, hold on. Oh, it's not going to play, but it said subtle foreshadowing, and she goes, "We'll come back to that in a minute." And then she talks about everything at this restaurant, and then she goes, "But the star of the meal was this Thanksgiving dinner waffle." So like the waffle was stuffing, and then it had like the mashed potatoes and everything. And now I love carbs and Thanksgiving, so this looked like heaven to me. But showing things that are local to your area, it's going to evoke some emotion. It's going to showcase the things in your market. She does a great job of showcasing restaurants, and she's honestly, a lot of these restaurants give her food for free too, because they want her to promote their business. And I've done this before. Yeah. Like, hey, I'm going to do a reel. And so maybe you say like, I'm going to order some food, and like all of a sudden the owner is like sending over more food and things for you to do. So it's a great way to engage your local audience, and they're going to call you like, hey, like Yaz, she's the like she knows all the hot spots. So like we've done realtor date night where we've gone out and did videos together where like she documented the whole thing, and it was just like realtor date night, going out, trying this new restaurant in Detroit. It was awesome. All right. So this is another one, trends and humor. So obviously trends and humor always do well. If you can use a trending song, that's great. I mean, obviously, like, what'd you do this weekend? She is playing, wearing her like heels, singing Pink Pony, whatever it's called. And she's having a good time. So this is a great way to showcase like mom life, dad life, whatever. It's just funny because she's over here dancing and being goofy while she's showcasing some personality, but also like, hey, relatable, right? We're at home on a weekend in our sweats, but we want to go out and dance and want to have a good time. So I think this was a great one. I'll play it a little bit for you. Right? Like, how cute is this? I love it. Like, I was like, I would love to watch, like, I need to follow this girl. So cute stuff like that. So some bonuses, captions will also play a huge role in visibility. Using keywords like your city name, real estate, or realtor in your caption Doesn't necessarily have to be a hashtag. Just using those words are things that are actually drawing in people now with the with searches. So those keywords are now showing up too. So stick to hyper local specific hashtags. So Tampa real estate, Tampa realtor. You don't necessarily need to do realtor life or real estate life or whatever, because those are so big. There's millions and millions of people using those hashtags. If you keep it really hyper local, I do like Ann Arbor realtor, Ann Arbor real estate, Ann Arbor broker. You know, I really try to keep it super local. So then people, when they're looking up those keywords or whatever, also think of when you're searching hashtags to use, if only 50 people or less than 100 people have used it, then I would not use that same hashtag. You want to use some ones that are a little bit broader. We let her know that we're almost done.
Yeah.
And then you want to use trending audios. Ideally, 5,000 to 50,000 are typically the best. I have found that anything with less than 20,000 uses are typically the hot spot. If you can do less, like if you see a couple videos popping up and you have the trending sound is like, you know, not that many people are doing it yet, hop on that bandwagon. Even if you don't do the same type of reel, just use that audio for something else because it's trending. It's going to get you more views. Also, when you're looking for trending audio, whenever you see the audio under your name, if it's got the little arrow pointing up, that's a trending song. So make sure you're looking for those too. You don't want to use old stuff because that's just not going to get you the same amount of views. Follow recent followers or engage with users of popular local accounts so you can create connections with possible leads. You also want to spend about 10 minutes after you post genuinely engaging with local contents to help, or local accounts to help boost your visibility and your interactions. All right, guys, that's all I got. That was a lot. I feel like that went very quickly, but that was a lot of information. Does anybody have anything they want to add before we take off?
I need to go back and fix all my highlights. They're from like 5 years ago.
I went through some of mine and I was like, oh boy, I got some work to do here. So, you know, even though I'm over here preaching, I don't have everything exactly right either. So don't feel bad if your profile's not up to snuff. You can always add that in here. Device permissions, contacts allow. Okay. So maybe yours must already be on.
Let's see.
Why do you have that many messages? Good Lord.
I don't know.
Yikes. Could you put a link to Seller's Guide to capture email addresses? Yes. I mean, if you have, especially with your flow desk now, Cynthia, you could definitely add a landing page that would bring people to a newsletter sign up for sure.
Yeah.
So, yep. So device permissions, contacts, allowed or not allowed. I feel like, maybe that was it. I will verify 100% that that's what it is. But it definitely made a difference. And I have been getting a lot of people who I'm friends with on Facebook or people that I've known in the past that they've been the ones who are popping up now. And a lot more local people as well. So I think that that's a great thing. So I will let everybody know once I figure that out exactly, and we'll get back to you on that ASAP. Cool. Does anybody else have any other questions?
Nope.
Comments, anything? Was this helpful? Yes, good. I love it. All right, Dave, do you approve? Was it good? You're the only dude on the call right now.
Was
All
very
right.
helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for checking into that
Thank
for
you
me.
so much.
Yeah, I need you to audit me.
All right. Private audits, $50 a piece. All right, you guys have a great day. We will see you back here next week and get your tickets for Level Up.
Bye.
Glad you're here with me today. We never get to do this. I love it. All right, bye everybody. I gotta go show some houses. Got to make some money.